everybody. Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast, where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, "Damn, dude." Oh, that was the wrong sound effect button, and there it is. Damn, dude. So what up, everybody? We are celebrating. Today's a special episode. Welcome to episode 24 of the Damn Dude Podcast. Today's special because we just hit our 1K mark. We hit 1,000 subscribers for the podcast, and that actually brings us up. That brought our score up in the world rank, which we are still in the top 10%, but our listen score went up, so that means we've obtained like a higher top 10% in the world. So that is out of currently, dude, it's fucking crazy. There's literally right now in existence, there are 2,159,666 podcasts globally. Those are official podcasts, like people that actually like submit their thing into the system and the whole thing. And I forgot to set my timer as usual. So that's out of over 2,159,000. So almost 2.6 million podcasts are what's in existence. Is what's in existence. So that's pretty fucking crazy because that's a gang of podcasts, dude. And to be in the top 10, it's a trip. I found out we were in the top 10% when we were on episode, like, we didn't even hit 20 episodes yet. And that's crazy to think because it's like, dude, I learned that statistically, the majority of podcasts, I forgot to turn my light on. I'm slipping. Sorry. One sec. There we go. I'm all over the place today. Like I said, this is my first freestyle episode. This is the first time I'm going with no notes and no pre-anything. This was just a celebration episode to have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Why does this keep turning off? So we're just having fun with it. And what I was saying is I learned that statistically, most podcasts won't make it past about 8 episodes. And the ones that do are typically the ones that jumped up into the top 10%. So that's pretty crazy to think. Like, yo, so many people are like, have put into this, but aren't really like capitalizing on it all the way. And I completely get why. I just thought of this right now, which is because there's no right way to do this shit yet. Like, there's not an actual platform or correct or incorrect way to create and host a podcast. So for me, I was like, yo, this is where I thrive. Like, when I have typically, sometimes when I have no instruction, I just fucking spin in circles and can't figure shit out. But typically, when there's no real way to do it and it's just left up to us to have fun and create it, that's where I thrive, because I do good in the like unknown. I do way better in the unknown than what's in the known. Like, when it comes to what I mean by that is like facts and shit like that, I don't do well. Like, I don't enjoy it. That's why I don't do well. So when it comes to that, I'm like, bruh, I do so much better in this like random ass creative space, you know? And with this kind of lack of structure, it's kind of fun because I'm like, yo, I could do this, I could do that, I could say this, I could say that. And when it comes to having a normal job, or even if it's my work I created for myself, teaching babies to swim and save their lives, I still can't talk how I want to talk here. There's a certain way to conduct yourself or for me to conduct myself in that business and in that field of things. So I see this as like exploring, as the way that I'm doing this podcast is almost like the same way that I go ride a motorcycle, or that like I go skateboarding, or that I go drive around the city. Like, it's very rare you'll catch me using a GPS. Very, very rare. When I do, it's because like I'm like researching something else. Especially in San Diego, like you're not really gonna catch me fucking with the GPS. And that's because, like, I love that unknown and I love that exploring space. Like, and that's another example, too, is like when everything's just fucking structured, like, follow this way, follow that way, follow this way, turn right here, turn left there. I don't like that. Like, stop telling me that. Like, let me just fucking go. I want to make the right turn so I know, or I'm sorry, I want to make the wrong turns so now I know for sure. It's ingrained in my muscle memory now. because we all do better when shit's ingrained in our muscle memory and ingrained and trained into our subconscious. So when information's trained into our subconscious and our muscle memory, it's a whole different experience than just being told information. It's the same way you can't learn to swim or ride a bike just off of a book or a video. It'll give you helpful tools, but you cannot figure it out unless you actually go put the time in. You got to get in the water. You got to go put the wheels to the floor. Like, that's how it gets ingrained in our subconscious and in our muscle memory. So so that's kind of wow, this just led me to think of something. Like with motorcycling, I love to go explore and I love just finding new shit. Now at the same time, I love riding the same routes and getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And to me, the reason that doesn't get boring is because I keep putting a brand new twist. It's like a brand new experience of something that I'm already aware of. Um, it's like eating new food, It's like I'm aware of food. I'm aware of different cultures. I'm aware of whatever. And at the same time, when I go try it and eat it, it's different than just kind of understanding it a little, It's like the real life experience. Um, yeah, dude. So where the fuck was I going with that? I don't know. Like I said, this episode is completely freestyled off the dome, like um, completely off the dome. So if you hear me kind of just all over the place, that's why. So let me show you guys for the cameras. Like this is today's episode. I actually had episode 24 completely written out, and you could tell I changed it to 25. But this is my whole show notes. This is basically what a typical show of mine looks like. So you can see, for those of you watching video, it's like these are the episodes. It's usually about 2 pages, and yeah, so that's what goes back here in my book. So you see today, boom, there's nothing on it other than it says episode 24 freestyle episode celebrating 1,000 followers. So you know what I'm saying? I don't even need that shit. And I want to see how good I am at doing this like this. Like I said, when I do that structure, it's very like, oh, boom, I'll jot down an idea. Oh, boom, jot down an idea. So if you're one of those people that has like great ideas and you just kind of like, they never turn into anything, start writing them down. Because oftentimes like we'll go back and be like, yo, that was brilliant. If I just do this, do that. And it's like documenting life and ideas is some of the most brilliant shit we can do. And that's a big reason I wanted to do this, like right now, this is a celebration episode. We're celebrating, dude. Like, and how are we celebrating is we're just having fun. That's why I chose the freestyle this one, because it's just kind of like when you go party, like you're not really like, I'm gonna stand over here and be like, yeah, and bob my head up and down and swing my arm for 3 minutes over there, and then I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna go talk to girls for this long, and then I'm gonna go meet some new homies and some new business partners for this long. It's like you don't go out and party like that. Like you just party, you just have fun, you just go, and it's like whatever the fuck comes up is what comes up. Now if you watch a show, it's already like very much like that to a certain degree, where it's like we just let it flow. If somebody fucking opens the door in the middle of recording, somebody calls me, like whatever the fuck happens, I'm just like, all right, like let's go, like let's just fucking keep it in and just keep rolling. If you listen to this show, I'm a big fan of how I say like let's just easy E that shit, where it's like it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of rapping. Like I said, if you go back, I think it was Dre still rapping in one of the old songs. It's just like, ah, shit, I fucked up, cuz. And then he goes, pick it up, keep going. And then he just, he just keeps going again. And it's like, yo, to me, I thought the error where he goes, oh shit, I fucked up, cuz. And then he goes, no, just keep going. For whatever reason, that resonated so deeply with me. Like, I would relate to that as like BMX riding. Like, that was my big thing when I was younger, doing tricks and this and that. And it's like, there's not really any room for, it's like, if an error happens, you gotta ride it out. Like, you really don't have a choice. You know what I mean? It's like, there's been times where I hit the jump, and the moment my fucking front wheel just starts lifting off the front of the ramp, I'm like, oh, fuck, like, this is all sideways and weird. And, as soon as like, wow, it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Just jump off the bike because you didn't fucking launch correctly? That doesn't really make sense. It's like, no, you just fucking ride it out. And that's how real life actually works. And when you don't know how to do that, you get in more accidents and shit like that. Like, you think about people who don't have experience, like drifting a car or sliding a car around on purpose. Like, when something on the road happens or in the rain, like if the car just barely slips, I'll be like, ah, and just kind of like freeze and just let go, or fucking like way go the wrong way with the steering, and instead of counter steering or whatever. And it's like, dude, if you just know how to like let the mistake happen, keep rolling, success happens. And there's so many times, especially because like I've been riding motorcycles my whole life, and it's like riding a motorcycle is almost okay. Let me say this even more specifically: riding a dirt bike, like out in the dirt where the terrain's completely unpredictable. You're literally just a series of like all riding a dirt bike is like a series of almost falling is what makes it happen. Like, when you're continuously almost falling, like when you ride a dirt bike, the whole thing is just going like like the back tires fucking swirling around, like it's all over the place, and it's pretty fucking scary if you're used to traction always being underneath you, like if you're used to feeling like that grip from the road, or the response from the terrain to the tire through the suspension, whatever. Like if like if you rely on that, like it makes it hard. Like, I know street bike guys struggle at first when they start riding dirt. Like, they get arm pumped immediately. Like, their ass hurts, their tailbone hurts, their spine hurts, their ribs, their kidneys, shoulders, back, the whole thing. And it's because like it's a different experience. And oftentimes dudes who are used to riding street, there's not a lot of sliding around on purpose. Granted, most of the dudes who race and whatever, they've got enough experience to like, accommodate for that or calculate that or factor it in or whatever. But I'm just saying in general, it's oftentimes that the dudes on the street bikes they're way tired faster on dirt bikes because of they're used to the traction. But on a dirt bike, it's like continuous non-traction is what's trippy. I mean, there is traction, but it's kind of like how it feels, especially when there's sand and shit like that. Yeah, excuse me. Drinking some kombucha. Damn. So it's kind of interesting. Like, I tie everything into activities that I do. Like, I'm a very visual person, and within being very visual, I like relate. Like, I see things when I think of things. If you tell me an example, my brain will usually start like picturing images of stuff and examples of images or stuff like that. Like, I'm often the way I pick up communication is through like visual things going on. And so that's why you'll often hear me relate shit to like motorcycling, skateboarding, swimming, because for one, it's something a lot of us, especially the followers of the show, are, at least think is kind of cool or participates in or something. Um, so that's why I do that. But for me, it's like, that's how I can relate things. Like, all right, I have I've been blessed with the ability to be able to really break things down to the very smallest fraction to be able to understand them. And I say this not just from some like weirdo shit out of nowhere because I think I have some random cool talent, but because that's legitimately what I've been trained to do, and that's legitimately like my greatest skill set that I have, is the ability to simplify and quickly. Like, I don't spend too much time anymore dwelling in the complications of things in life and shit like that. Like, my brain goes to simplifying rather than like multiplying, and whether that's thoughts or whatever. So, for example, uh, like when I'm gonna teach a baby to swim, I'm literally, it's such a trippy experience because I could literally accomplish it without communicating. Excuse me, like without verbal communication. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. um, and what's trippy is because like literally I'm just trained how I can get babies who are 6 months old to be able to have life-saving skills in the water is what I'm looking at. I've boiled every single thing a child can do down to two things. And this is what gives me the ability to teach. And if you're like an instructor who's really with the shits and you want to know how to do what I do, this will give you a huge window into it. If if this comprehends like that. Uh, Oops, sorry, I'm trying to fix this shit. Okay. So, within a child, how you can communicate to a child who doesn't communicate is, for me, in my experience, what I do and what I've been doing is I've boiled every possible scenario down to two things. Every possible scenario. Like every single thing a child can do, any possible thing that a kid, movement, behavior, anything that a child can do in the water, I've boiled it down to the two things, which is breathing and body movement. And when I can start from that place, I can make miraculous things happen. And it's a trip because that's what my baby magic is. That's why people call me the baby whisperer, or say, "Oh shit, baby magic," is because that's what I'm doing. Is I have the ability to see the absolute most simplest version of a child's behavior in the water or in adults. That's why also we've been able to teach adults who don't know how to swim and we don't speak the same language either. I've taught a 90-year-old, 91, 92-year-old, or was she 70? No, she was 80. This woman, okay, sorry. This woman was 70 or 81 or two, and she only spoke Indian, and she didn't speak like any English. And she went from being like deathly afraid of the water. And okay, let me define that. She was afraid to where like she would not get any, like she would only have her waist in the water. She wouldn't let like her stomach, chest, neck, head, face get in the water. That was her like thing, is just as long as she could stand and like the top half of her body was out, she was chilling, she's okay. She's still like pretty paranoid, but like that was her level. And through the same thing, through breathing and body language, I was able to be like, holy shit, I'm able to take your greatest lifelong fear and transcend it for you by you doing the work, just by observing your breath and your body language and body movements, So as soon as we can link up the proper breath with the proper body movement, boom, that's the whole secret. I just gave you my entire fucking secret. That's my entire playbook. When it comes to this. Now, there's more details and shit, obviously. But if you boiled everything down that I could possibly show you, or we could discuss about it, or whatever, or that I could teach your kid, it's all gonna boil down to that. And that's really the recipe. It's kind of being like, well, fuck, if you want to make a smoothie, you got to use this apple, you got to use this, that, whatever, and that's what makes it. Now, how much of what, that's where it's like, I can't really give all that away. But at the same time, I'm giving you the answer. You know what I'm saying? So if you can kind of back work that answer, that kind of, points to it. Yeah, I don't know, it's really fascinating, dude. And like I said, this podcast is completely freestyled, so we're just kind of like going. It's been interesting, man. The last few days have been so fucking tough. Um, oh, we're getting what is that? I don't know, getting emails. Oh fuck, what was I just saying? That completely screwed me up. Oh, the last couple of days have been really tough. That's what I was saying. Fuck, dude. Oh man, just all the situation with my ex, my kids, dog, just our whole situation has been so stressful. It's been so hard on me, dude. Um so hard. It's just fucking, it's like that shit can just break me down at random times, and like, it's a trip, man. And I just own it and I let it happen, and if I need to cry, I'll cry. If I need to fucking take time to myself, I'll take time to myself. Um it's just the whole pain. It's like the whole struggle is not even with my ex. It's more, I mean, that's where this is interesting. So my relationship with my ex is like we try to get along, but we have such trouble. Like we're just so triggering to each other that it makes it really hard to communicate. And what hurts the most is like we're both trying to have the same outcome. We want the same thing. And it's just like our communication about it sucks. And it's just so hurtful and stuff that it makes it hard. But that's the thing is, it's not the situation with her that's really so hard. It's more so how the situation with her affects the kids. How it affects or doesn't affect them, I should say. And like to me, that's a big deal. And that's the hardest part is like, damn, was this, one of those defining moments of life type of scars that I just put on to my kids? You know what I mean? Like shit like that. And I'm really aware of that. And I think about that a lot. And it's like, damn, is this one of those decisions where my kids are just like, man, fuck you. It's like, or where that breeds anger or resentment or something in the future. Because I know I did that with my parents and I've seen a bunch of people do it too, and like, I'm not out to create that. I'm just like, there's a certain level of awareness to it. So, um, I think as long as I'm open and I'm honest with my kids, like, I think we'll have a good relationship. And that's how it is. It's like me and my teenager, my oldest son, like he's 15 and we have fucking incredible conversations and it's like it's really dope, and I just hope the same for my youngest son and like I know as long as he's got big brother like being that example of um what a dope human is, then like we're cool, we're winning. And I think that example will rub off onto the younger one. Um yeah. So yeah, dude, it's a trip, man. That's been the most painful thing is like considering how it affects my kids because I see how much things my parents did or didn't do that affected me or I made it mean something or I made it mean this or that or I made it mean that I guess to make keep it real as fuck is like certain like events that happen in my life I would either determine that I've determined a few things that my childhood was over or I decided these factors really young at life was that my childhood was over. I was stupid and I didn't matter. And my voice didn't matter. And when I had stopped talking for a year, kind of nobody really was like, oh, this or that. It was just kind of like, oh, okay. And it kind of seemed like that just proved to me because people still treated me nicely, like at school and stuff in general. Like my classmates and stuff. There was bullies and shit that would chase us home, whatever. That was a whole other thing. But like, I decided early on that fuck, I was stupid, I didn't matter, whatever. And then when people were still nice to me when I stopped talking, that made me feel like, well, shit. They still accepted me, and I made it like kind of mean, like fuck, like people. It doesn't even matter what I say or don't say because people don't give a fuck anyway. They're just gonna treat me the same. And that's like a really twisted and weird way to think and see things, but like that's what was fucking real. And it's crazy because like we all make decisions as a kid. We all make some sort of choice. We all make some sort of decision that not even a choice because within a choice we have free will to pick other feelings or thoughts about certain things. And with a decision you've decided. With a if you think about the root word side, it's like that means to kill. Insecticide, homicide, suicide, like that's to kill. So when you decide, you've decided. That means there's no other options. So for me, when I decided I was dumb, there was no other option. I had to relate to myself as dumb until I was at least like 24 years old or so. I'm 35 now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some real shit though is we well a lot of times we'll relate to ourselves in that way or fucking whatever, and it's crazy because when we make decisions, when we decide on something, especially as we decide on this is who I am. I decided my childhood was over when I was at my sister's funeral. I decided I was stupid when I got called out in class when I turned to the wrong page. I decided my voice didn't matter when I stopped talking at school and it didn't really matter. Um, I decided I wasn't good enough when there's certain arguments with my parents or times I'll get in trouble. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just fucking stupid then, or like, and it would just reaffirm it. And it wasn't that anybody was telling me I was, it was that I told myself I was. And you could have anybody tell me all day long, no, you're really smart, you're really creative, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, nah, I decided. There's no choice about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, run that back, dude. Like, that's tight. Like, there's no. I decided. I decided I was stupid. I decided that. And like, there's no telling me otherwise. I had to discover it for myself. And how that happened was like, people, for one, tell me like, wow, like, you're really good at this, or you're really smart at that, or what, or wow, you know a lot about this. And I'll be like, I do? And like, what do you mean you do? And then there was just little things like that, like little keys and little like pointers to be like, bro, you're not fucking stupid. It was just not the intended outcome that you had. And there's a big difference between the intended outcome you wanting versus being stupid. And I had that all twisted, and there was no convincing me otherwise. Um, yeah, so that shit's a trip, dude. Like, when we make decisions, especially as kids, that's the most fucked up shit. Like, if oftentimes, and that comes back around in some trippy ass ways where it's like, yo, somebody called you fat when you're a little kid, and then you're forever gonna be buff. I'm never fat again. You've decided. It's like, that's good for your physical health, but not your mental health, because being healthy for the sake of not being fat again isn't a good context to being healthy. That's like suffering being healthy. But if you're being healthy to be like, man, it feels so good when I eat good and I work out and whatever, that's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a choice to work out, not the decision to work out. And it's like, there's many ways we could take this. But you know what? I gotta reset the camera. So we're gonna take a quick break real quick. We'll be back here in shit, I forgot to press the thing. We'll be back in 1 second here, guys. What up, everybody? We bike. Whoa, oh man. I'm pressing all the wrong ones that I didn't want to press. Let's pretend that didn't happen and I said, all right, welcome back, everybody. We bike. Is your host, that's me, and shout out Ben Baller. Yeah, Ben Baller's got a sick ass podcast. I don't know him personally, but I listened to enough of him to know that he's a fucking real ass motherfucker. Oh, and that, yeah, his podcast is tight, Behind the Baller. Make sure you guys go check that out. Other podcast, I don't get paid for that. I don't get nothing for saying that. Also, I get nothing for this either. But go check out Brad Lee. That's Lea, not Bradley, but Brad. Last name Lee, Lea. And yes, it's pronounced Lee. He says, what do you drink? Tea? Do you drink tea or do you drink Taya? When people are like, oh, is your last name Leia? Like so, Bradley dropping bombs. Go check that shit out. That's off the charts. Also, check out David Meltzer's podcast, The Playbook. There's no better shit out there aside from the Damn Dude podcast. So, like I said, I'm not connected to them in any like business or whatever. I mean, I've done business with Dave, and I've done business with Brett, and actually, I've done business with all of them in terms of purchasing shit from them. Yeah, I bought stuff from all of them. So, but why I even say that is like, they've benefited me in my life and been such influences in such a way that I just got to give that back. And, they're fucking quite a bit ahead of me. Why? And that's fucking cool, dude, because I'm on their tail. And not even that I'm on their tail, I'm on the, I'm like, I'm like, the way I see myself in this podcast game is like, I'm the new model still being developed. That's how I see it. Like right now, they're all like the new car that keeps coming out, and it's like, I'm still being put together and manufactured, and like, try like testing and what do you call that? Product research R&D, research and development. That's what's going on here. And that's also why I fucking just freestyled this episode, just to see how, if I'm good at it or not, or if I really suck at it. And my take from this is that I probably started off the first maybe 10, 15 minutes a little scattered and all over the place and kind of just like, whoa, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't know if I was ready for that. And then the second, like, 15 minutes or so from the first half, pretty good. And then right now, I'm kind of back on track. I feel like I'm in my groove. At the same time, whatever the fuck goes. Oh, did you guys like the new soundbite? I thought they were funny. I like this. Oh, I didn't play this one. This one's pretty tight. So I was like, yo, I'm Calvin, California Cal. That's what Cal's short for, Calvin. And I found these sick ass clips.
Oh, what's disrespectful is you're stealing our weed and passing it off like it's your own. Calm down, cuz. No, ain't no calm down, cuz. I'ma calm down when y'all give us our weed back.
When y'all give us our weed back. I love how he says that. Give us our weed back. It's like he loves it so much. Like, give us our weed back. That was for the movie How High 2, actually. Which, oh man, it's pretty corny, but it's actually really fucking funny, dude. Like, if you really, like, I don't even know. Like, it was not even, like, traditionally funny. Oh shit, that was obnoxious. Sorry, everybody. Oh, my shit just fucking ringing off at the same time. Oh yeah, no, but that movie How High 2, that shit was pretty funny. I was surprised. It was corny as fuck, and it was actually like it was pretty fucking funny. Like I feel like what was funny about it was they encapsulated like certain what do you call it? Oh, certain like stereotypes of people and personalities like so perfectly. Like as soon as I saw fucking like the barbecue dude, that shit had me dying, bro. Like I can't explain. You just got, I don't know. It's worth a watch. Anyway, why was I talking about that? Oh, because that's that new soundbite. Yeah, dude. So, like I said, this is the first freestyle episode that we're doing to celebrate 1,000 followers. So, I think that's pretty dope. I appreciate that shit, you guys. Man, so I'm just thinking like, fuck. There's a couple ways I can go with this because we touched on some trippy shit. Yeah, man, man, my brain just kind of went in like 6 different places. It's kind of funny. I guess let's just explore where my brain just went. My brain was like, yo, you need to think of a topic fast. And then another piece of my brain went, yo, you got nothing to fucking talk about, bro. And then my brain went, well, I mean, you could just talk about stuff, but who the fuck just, what's the point of that? And then my brain is like, well, but you love surfing, because I'm looking at surfboards. And then my brain's like, oh, we'll talk about like this or that. And then that's where I'm just like, yo, my brain just fucking seized up basically, because I just thought all those thoughts at one time. And then I was like, oh, should I go surfing? Should I go ride a skateboard? Should I go over to my cousin's house? Should I like that was where my brain went. So yeah, this is weird. This is quite a bit harder freestyling an episode. And it's kind of funny because I definitely understand that like I don't have enough clout for this to be cool yet. And yeah, no, I don't have enough clout for people to really care about me being like, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do that. And that's totally fine because I don't really give a fuck, and I'm gonna do my thing regardless. So, why do I keep pressing the wrong thing? Sorry to blast your ears if that was loud. Um, Fuck, man. So, it's interesting. Like, when you don't have enough clout, when it comes to, like, shit being cool, people just don't give a fuck. But then what happens is like if you stay consistent enough, like whoa shit, I almost broke my whole fucking recording thing. Um oh sorry, my camera's being wacky. Or like my phone live camera is. Like people just kind of don't care. And then all of a sudden once enough people like random people start caring, then everybody else is like, oh yeah, this is cool, blah blah blah. And like and then all of a sudden like once your cloud is up, people are like they fuck with you and act like they've been down and blah 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 and like it's just a trip, man. So I don't really give a fuck about any of that. Clearly, that like if I'm doing this, and at some point it will be a cool thing. People gonna be like, "Yo, that fool did that." Like, damn. And especially, fuck, if you're gonna try and start doing this, like I just read to you earlier, that what was the stat? Almost 2.6 million podcasts. Um, You know what I'm saying? It's like not everybody is cut out for this. And the people whose why about it isn't strong enough, the people who are just kind of like, oh, it's just kind of fun, whatever. Like this isn't really a hobby that's like, mm, that like gives returns. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as if you're just doing it for a hobby, which it's kind of weird. I don't know if I don't even consider this a hobby or whatever. I'm just like, this is just what I'm supposed to do. I have to do this. I could get into that, but like, this is just what I have to do. And if that's not the feeling, then I don't think this is gonna work out. Um, and that's just the reality of it is like, you gotta love it. And that was why I did 143 or whatever practice episodes was because it's like, bro, like, I want to. um, it's because like, yo, I just want to make sure I love this. And when only two people saw my videos when I was in like after I made a gang of them, and like nobody's liking my shit, I was just like, bro, like, I'm still having a lot of fun. And the reason is why it's so fun is because it's like to me this is documenting all of history, and I get to write the history book. Um, And I think my point of view is cooler than whoever the fuck random ass old dude wrote this book, that book's point of view. So what the fuck, dude? That's my right. You know what I mean? Don't you feel more creative than the guy who wrote the history books that you read growing up? Don't you feel more creative and fun than the guys who host the news and shit? Like, I feel like I am. I feel like my take is way more real. There's way more people in the streets that talk like me and act like me than there is people who are like, oh yes, live at 7, because when they go home, they're like, ah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And that's real as fuck, dude. Like, when okay, let's go into teachers. Fuck, bro, you want to talk about teachers? Like, school teachers? Those motherfuckers party and fuck. Yo, I'm not kidding, dude. If if you don't watch, dude, someday one of your homies will become teachers and you'll be like, "You're a teacher? What the fuck?" And I feel the same way about myself. I'm a teacher. I work with kids, and I'm just like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, if I base it off of like the crazy shit that I do, then it's kind of like, bro, like, what are you doing, dude? That guy? But at the same time, it makes sense. I'm really good. But teachers fucking get down, dude. Like they get down. I'm telling you, they get fucked up. A lot of them do drugs. A lot of them are on some crazy shit. And yeah. So, um, why am I talking about? Oh, because it's like writing history. So it's like, damn. That's why when you have teachers who are just like somebody who's real or somebody who's kind of hood or somebody just like really themselves, you're like, that teacher's cool as fuck. Mr. Whatever, Miss Whatever is fucking sick. And I have teachers like that. I remember this fucking teacher gave me an A. Coach Hall, what up, Mr. Hall? Coach Hall. For Mira Mesa, he gave me an A for writing a report about why I thought weed should be legal back in the day. And I quoted a Bone Thugs line, and it said something about and it said, if everybody smoked a blunt and relieved their mind, the world could be a better place. And that was my how I ended it. And then I quoted it, Bone Thugs, or no, Crazy Bone, from Bone Thugs, whatever. And then he gave me a fucking A, and that was one of the few A's I ever got on a paper. And I'm pretty sure this dude was high as fuck, like that high. His eyes are always red as fuck, and he's always jumping on the tables playing guitar and just fucking whoa, like he would cuss and he'd be like, he was just fucking sick, dude. We got to write. We got one of our projects was to like pick a Bob Marley song and write about it, and then another one was to pick something either about weed or drugs or whatever and write about it. And it's funny because I just realized that's funny if you didn't go to school there. Coach Hall, like public schools, it was very common for your, I don't know why, well, I guess that makes sense, but it was very common for your PE coach to be your history teacher also, and or your science teacher. It was always history or science. I don't know why the PE coaches like very often taught history. It's always history or science. I don't know why. I guess because they're literally just reading out of the book and playing videos and whatever. So, um, yeah, that shit's a trip, dude. Uh, yeah, but it's like, yo, you were a cool ass teacher. He was with the shit. And there is just that authenticness. And I guess that's kind of where I was getting at. What the fuck? How do you make? Can somebody tell me if I'm recording live on my iPhone, how the fuck to keep the live, like the screen on? It turns black after like, it's weird. There's like, if I touch it once, then it'll stay on for like a long time. And then when it turns off and I touch it again, then it only stays on for a couple seconds. And then I gotta retouch it. Like, what the fuck? If you're recording, you should just be recording, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway, uh, what was I saying? Uh, I don't know what I was saying, but I mean, I kind of do, but I don't know where I was going with that whole point. Oh, well, it's because you never know who the fuck's gonna be a teacher, and the coolest teachers are the ones who are just cool as fuck, and who just, who are like real ass people, and that's why I think me doing this, I think I'm way cooler than most of the people I see on the news. And I think I'm way cooler than a lot of the people documenting shit. Now there's other people 100. I'm not that cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't. I realistically, I don't think I'm that cool. But I do think I'm cool. I do think my personality and what I have to say and how I have to say it is cooler and funner than the majority of the people who are documenting shit publicly, who are documenting their life publicly. So that's why I do this, man. Like, really trying to do this shit. Not trying, I am. And I've got a fucking 10-year commitment to this. I'm doing at least 10 years I'm doing at least 10 years of this podcast or talking on camera or microphone or however you want to call it. That's my minimum. So if I go for longer, cool. If this blows up and becomes the most successful show in the world or one of them, cool. If it doesn't, that's also cool. And like I said, it's like my why for this really, 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 really is for my family and my kids and my future generation and like my great, great, great grandkids. Um, this is for them, dude. So they have a good spot to like work from. Whoa, excuse me. So they have a good place to work from. They know their family lineage. They know the open truth. They know what happened between grandma and grandpa. They know what happened to such and such. Write your family tree. Just listen to a few episodes of this shit, like, and you get a real insight into real fucking life. Like, I'm really out in the streets, like, a lot. I'm really fucking out all around San Diego a lot. Like, I'm everywhere. So I realized, dude, like, I see more things in one day than the average person who works somewhere. Like people who do like construction. Whoa, I just kicked my camera. Like people who do like construction and like traveling and whatever for their work around town. they get it too, you know. Oh shit! I'm getting texts. Um, like people who are around town, like city workers, they get the same kind of perspective I do too. Uh, you know, I know mailmen and door to door salespeople get a very unique perspective. Um, excuse me. Uh, but it people who see and experience those things a lot have the coolest stories and have cool experiences and often have really unique outlooks on life and yeah, so it's I don't know, I'm one of those people like I've done all of those things. I've done door to door, I've done fucking uh you know what I mean? Like however kind of sales whatever, like you name it, like I've done some of that shit. So um and growing up as somebody who's just really in the neighborhood, really outside, like really, really, really outside. Like literally my ethnicity changes to the general public. I'm so outside. And like I'm not even kidding. Like that's for reals, for reals. Uh, I go from being a white guy to being Mexican to being Hawaiian and anywhere in between to being half Filipino. That's common in the neighborhood I live in Mira Mesa. Um, so yeah. um, so it's like that's how much I'm outside. Like fuck. I did the math. I've driven since I started driving, and I did not count off-road miles on like dirt bikes and shit. So, and I've done a lot of dirt bike, quad, three-wheeler, whatever miles, a lot. I've been in the desert for many years now. But my point is, or what I was saying is, I did the math, and I've roughly done about 500,000 miles. No, was it that, or was it more? I should have thought about this before I just fucking blurted out. Because, yeah. Oh, no, no, that is right. Is it five or seven? I don't know. I gotta redo the math and then I'll come back and let you know. Because I legitimately calculated all this from the miles in all my cars. Uh, okay, just to kind of give an insight into how much I drive. And keep in mind, 2020, I didn't have that same driving schedule or routine. Um, so in 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago I got my Jeep. It had 120,000 miles on it. And it now has 200 and basically like 220,000 miles on it. So 120 to 220, that's a gang of miles in 3 years. Um, okay. Okay, oh well, yeah. I mean, it was 4 years, but minus not really driving in 2020 a whole lot. So, yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy, dude. Like, I drive a lot, and that's all around San Diego. That I do that, and I'll do that in a day. Oh, so, I'll do that in a day. I'll drive. It's not uncommon for me to drive like 300 miles in a day. Um, So yeah, or if it's like I'm not driving that much, I'm doing about like 100 to 150 miles a day. Like if I ride a motorcycle, especially if I ride the Harley or the Aprilia, they get absolutely trash gas mileage. Like in the Harley, the gas light pops on. It's at about like 60 to 70 miles, depending how I've been riding it. Maybe 80 if I'm like really babying the fuck out of it, and I like really like topped it off. And then on the Aprilia, I can maybe do like 80 and the gas light comes on. Uh, but still, it'll be like 75 miles and that shit comes on because I ride like a maniac on that thing. Like, the bike's not that fast, so it's a 750, Aprilia Dosadoro 750. So, like, when I ride it, I'm just like wide open. Like, it's just a V twin, so, like I said, it's not very quick. It's just more like a fun kind of bike, you know? Um, and I realize that's kind of funny for me to say that. A 750 V twin definitely has some balls, but like what I've gotten used to and stuff like it's just not that much bike. And I'm not just saying that to be like, oh yeah, like I don't know, it's just my occurrence up and like I'm always hitting tack like fuck. What? Doesn't this bike have a little more? Like, come on, man. Or like if I'm riding even with 600 with like inline 600s, like if we're fucking cruising and everybody just drops a gear, they're fucking gone. And I'll drop 2 gears, and just be like, my shit's just like, and I'm like, oh man, and they're like, and they can still be in the same gear, and they just got so many more RPMs. Yeah. Oh man, I kind of went off on a tangent. Where was I going with that? Harley riding. Fuck, dude, I forget what I was talking about a lot. That's why my show notes are helpful. I'm sure if you're a regular listener of the show, I'm like, even with the notes, I'll fucking forget. And at the same time, I do always route back around if it's important. um, like I said, firm believer in like if it's meant to be, then it'll come back. Let it go, accepting it. I accept that I forget, which allows me to let it go, which allows me to re-receive it if it's valuable. I'm all about value here. Yeah, man. So, fuck, this is crazy. So, I just want to say I appreciate you guys and thank you for making this possible, and thank you for letting me be foolish and run amok on this freestyle episode. And if you listen to this whole thing, like, fuck, thank you, man. We are officially at 1,001 downloads with 23 episodes published. This will be number 4, so we'll probably be at a little more by the time this hits tomorrow. What day is it? Sunday? Yeah, tomorrow at noon. I think I'm gonna go surfing right now. I need to do that, man. I just don't know what board to take, and the waves have been weird as fuck. And I like going with my son, man. Like if he's not able to go, I was just kind of like, um, yeah. I don't know. Fucking love surfing with him. With both of them, it's so cool. I take my baby out to surf, and it's a trip. The first time he ever surfed, what the heck is that? Oh, my timer. First time he ever surfed, he was 8 months old. And we were out there. We got a little wetsuit and we're just flying down the line. We recorded the whole thing on a GoPro and fucking lost the GoPro in the ocean. I I had to. It was one of those things where it was either the GoPro or the baby, and it was like, well, clearly, like, I'm fucking grab the baby. So, yeah. So on that note, man, I appreciate you guys. And Oceania, you guys started listening. Thank you. That's the Australias. So just real quickly, make sure you guys go leave, well, not make sure, but please, I would appreciate it if you go leave a 5-star written review on Apple iTunes, and go on listennotes.com, give us some props there, join the community. It's like the community is growing, and it's kind of cool. It's exciting. So shout out to all of our listeners from the United States, all around the U.S. Shout out to all the homies in France. I appreciate you guys. You guys fuck with us tough. So what up, France? Whoever you are in France, I don't know if you're multiple people, one person. I think it's multiple people. Holler at us. Hit us in the DMs on Instagram at Damn Dude Podcast. Or leave a comment on Apple iTunes, and I want to know who you are. And also to my folks in United Kingdom, the homies in Finland, oh snap, the homies in Germany, what's cracking, the homies in Peru, what up Peru, I love Peru. Shout out to homies in Colombia, what up family. Sebastian, I know you're all running around in Colombia. Whoever else is out there listening, I appreciate you guys, I love you. The listeners in Mother Russia, what up? You guys holler at me too. What is good, Russia? Mexico, you fucking know I love you, Mexico. I'm always in Mexico. I fucking love Mexico. Shout out to India, my listeners in India. Shout out to the listeners in Chile, the listeners in Australia. Shout out to my listeners, my people in Norway. That's me. Shout out to my folks in Indonesia. Shout out to my folks in Canada, aka Canada. Shout out to my folks in Hungary. Shout out to my folks in Panama. Shout out to my folks in Brazil. And shout out to my family in China. Wrong button. Wrong button.
Even though Calvin looked like he just ate a cat.
I tend to hit the wrong sound bites often. And yeah, those are the all the countries we got listeners in right now. So I appreciate you guys, man. That's fucking dope as fuck. So on that note, man, I appreciate you guys so much, and I love you guys, and thank you for the 1K. Um, we're gonna wrap this up. I love you guys. Rooster Tail, take us out. Make sure you go follow him. Holler at him if you want some custom intro, outro, any kind of music. That's at Rooster Tale official on Instagram and wherever you can find music. So on that note, take us out, Rooster Tail. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace. So on some PS2. Hold on, baby. Woo! Thank you, everybody. Much love. Peace.